What do you do if an ATF agent shows up to your home, flashes a badge, and demands to see what's inside your gun safe? What if they ask you for a specific firearm or a firearm component? Do you surrender it to them? Today we're going to discuss the 3 most common reasons the ATF might be knocking at your door and what you should do to be prepared should you ever find yourself in these situations. The first and most common reason we see the ATF attempting to question a person, seemingly at random, is a firearm trace. When you buy a firearm from an FFL and it later leaves your inventory, there may not be a record. Whether it's a sale, gift, inheritance, or the gun was lost or stolen, there are a lot of reasons why a person may no longer have a gun in their collection. But if the gun shows up at a crime scene sometime down the road, it's common for local police and the ATF to trace that firearm back to the original point of sale from the FFL. That means, if you are the original purchaser, the ATF might have some questions as to why the gun is no longer in your possession. The second reason the ATF might want to speak with you is to investigate the purchase of multiple firearms. Under the 1968 Gun Control Act, FFLs are required to report multiple sales of handguns to the same purchaser. Have you ever thought about buying a set of his and hers pistols? Or maybe you go into a gun store to buy a handgun and you see a deal on another one that you just can't pass up. There's nothing wrong with a thoughtful gift or getting a deal, but there is something important you must know. The sale or disposition of 2 or more handguns must be reported to the ATF and local authorities if they occur at the same time or within 5 consecutive business days. The same goes for certain rifles sold in southern border states. This is because the ATF keeps a close watch on the transfer of multiple firearms that take place in a short period of time. This is to prevent weapons trafficking, unlicensed firearms businesses, and to protect public safety. Whatever the reason may be, just know if you find yourself in this situation, the ATF and the local police may want to inspect your collection, and you need to know what to do. We'll get to that in a moment. Finally, the third most common reason we see the ATF knocking at someone's door is to conduct a welfare check or follow up on an anonymous tip. You don't need us to tell you that there are some folks who don't believe in the Second Amendment and your right to keep and bear arms. Maybe it's a concerned neighbor, a revenge-seeking ex-spouse, or in response to a political argument over the internet. We've seen them all. These checks can be about anything. Just use your imagination. But whatever the reason, know that law enforcement takes these calls very seriously, and it frequently leads to an agent on your front porch asking for your side of the story. What you need to know is that ATF interactions can be scary, especially when you don't know the nature of the investigation. Often we see folks unintentionally implicate themselves in something totally unrelated. That is why the time to prepare is now. In each of the scenarios, you will want to speak with your attorney prior to any questioning, and you want your attorney present with you if the police or ATF want to continue questioning you down at headquarters. Whether or not you should answer those questions, comply with an investigation, consent to a search, or surrender an item will vary case by case. That is why it is imperative that you speak to an attorney before making any statements to an ATF agent. In most of these cases, the agent will be willing to arrange a meeting, giving you enough time to consult with an attorney before being questioned. So exercise your rights and consult an attorney.
With our brand new gun owner identity theft coverage, independent program attorneys will help you navigate the legal aftermath of a lost or stolen firearm, stolen identity, or even misidentification, all to help ensure your Second Amendment rights are preserved and intact. Call Member Services and add gun owner identity theft coverage to your membership today. And as always, if you have any questions about how a lost or stolen firearm, stolen identity, or misidentification can affect your right to bear arms, call us and ask to speak with your independent program attorney.